Good morning. Late start today. It's almost 11. It's about 11. Red roof over there is Uncle Johnny's. Sonola Chucky. Looks like it's flowing even harder than it was yesterday. It's really ripping. They've had storms a lot of nights here. It's browner than it was yesterday, so getting washed from downhill. Gets a good chance to see I don't know how well it'll show up, but that's the hillside that you come down coming into ERWIN. But as I said, they do real well with switchbacks that run along the side of it. So it's not real steep. It is just a very long downhill because it comes down a ways. I'm headed north from ERWIN. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Yeah, this isn't a water source. This is the trail. And it's been like this. I've trudged through a whole bunch of it, and I finally decided, well, I probably at least take a picture of it. I have absolutely been unable to keep my feet dry today. Been several places where there's just no way to get around it. It was just water everywhere. Lots of it. It's a short hike today. Give me time to get dried off tonight. But my feet are wet, and they're going to stay wet. Head north. So, I finally reach a part of the trail where there's not flowing water. And I get this. Yep, that's the trail right there. So, it'll be fun to get around it. Just really recently came down, you can tell. You know, maybe probably in the last couple days. They've had a couple big storms. Head north. That's the trail. My feet are soaked. I just did a water crossing that I'm sure is usually pretty easy. I ended up basically putting 1 foot underwater to get over it. Just unbelievable amounts of water on the trail today. There's been, it's either standing water or like this, that there's a brook of some sort, just flowing water. Short hike. Be a different experience tonight trying to get things dried out. The day is gorgeous. It's a beautiful sunny day. I haven't seen any through hikers. I saw a couple out with their dogs walking, but other than that, I haven't seen anyone. Heading north. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So just before 3. Haven't walked up to the shelter yet, but there it is. And while I don't know where the official water source is, that's a pretty good water flow right there. So a nice little sandy bottom stream running down here, brook, whatever you want to call it. So maybe there's better right up by the shelter, but this is close enough. So give me more when I get up there. What a gorgeous day, huh? Just absolutely beautiful today. So the Curley Maple Gap Shelter. Big. Upper and lower level. Looks flat. Looks like it's been well taken care of. Looks dry inside. The table is fully under cover. The floor area in underneath appears dry. Got this big kind of campsite out here out front. I'm pretty sure I have never seen a campsite with more really good seating than this one. Lots of places for a crowd to sit, but I don't know if you can tell in the video, but there's nothing flat. I mean, it's all at an angle. So as far as in this whole scene right here, there's not a tent site to be found. I mean, kind of right here, right next to this fire pit, there's one little muddy flat spot right next to the water, maybe. But like all of this is at a pretty good angle. If you walk over in here, there's right next to the brook, there's a little bit that's flat. There might be a couple decent tent sites there. But big campsite, room for a lot of people in the shelter. Right in this area anyway, not a lot of tent sites. So, and one little bit of recent blowdown at rhododendron. One of the few, smaller trees in this camp area are right down across the trail. As I expected, I'm going to have any water issues. There's a stream right out in front. I'll be sleeping to the sound of running water. Beautiful day, beautiful sight. That'd be a nice chance to sit out here in the sun and do my wrap up. So like 4.5 miles, a little under 4.5 miles in about 4 hours. I started hiking around 11. And I started without much of a plan. I knew this shelter was here and it wasn't far and it was doable. Everything any further, I would have had to start earlier. And I had quite a bit I wanted to do. I had as far as repack and a little bit of shopping, and I had a lot of people that I called and talked to and stuff like that. A couple days ago, and when I ran across Max Patch, I met a local who was out walking his dog. And the dog laid down and rolling around. He's like, get up, the ticks. And yeah, talked with me. He says, oh yeah, the ticks are out in force. So I wanted to get permethrin. Uncle Johnny's didn't have permethrin. Walmart didn't have permethrin. There is a outfitter in town. They didn't have the Sawyer permethrin, which I prefer in the pump bottle, but they did have an aerosol from Ben's. I've used that. Hopefully it works well. The Sawyer doesn't seem to smell much after it's dried. And the Ben's, I felt like I could smell it this morning walking up, so I don't really like that. Started without much of a plan. If I'd had much of a plan, I would have been disappointed. The first half of the morning was like swimming up the Amazon. It was just so much water and mud. It was unbelievable. I've never seen the trail that wet. It was literally like a brook, a lot of it, and slippery, of course, and muddy. And my feet were wet right off the bat and stayed that way. And I got them wet several times on the way up. And then once it started to get up like above 2,200 feet, it was like, it dried out a little bit, but then it was really rocky and difficult hiking. So I did not make good time today. There were no good time spots for me to make. It was either too steep and I couldn't go fast, or it was just too muddy and I was too cautious and going too slow. So any plan I would have had would not have worked. So I've got a few things I'm going to work on tonight. I got some writing I got to work on, and I'm going to see if I can also work on my skill set of getting up in the morning and work and getting out of here early. So my goal is going to be to try to start hiking early tomorrow morning. I don't know what the trail conditions are going to be. There's quite a bit of up and quite a bit of down. And if I make it to the next shelter, pretty sure it'll be my longest single day. So, there appear to me to be plenty of okay stealth sites between here and there. Obviously, I'm going to go out of here full of water in the morning, so, I'll be good for pretty much for the day anyway. It's not supposed to rain tonight, so hopefully it won't be all slick and slippery. So that's my plan. I hope you are having a wonderful day. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here in the mountains of Tennessee. Have a good one.